Twelfth Night by William Shakespeare. Characters, Summary, Analysis. Hello and welcome to the discourse. We are discussing Shakespearean play, and today we will discuss Twelfth Night, which is a fun-inspiring romantic comedy by William Shakespeare. This specific drama was written for the celebrations of the Twelfth Night, which is a Christian festival that is celebrated on the 12th night after Christmas, just before the feast of Epiphany. Epiphany is the day on which celebrations of revelation of Jesus Christ as the God incarnate is celebrated. William Shakespeare wrote this drama sometime during 1601. The source of this Shakespearean drama was Barnaby Riche's story Apollonius and Sylla from the book Riche, His Farewell to Military Profession. It was published in 1581. Another source of this play is the Italian comedy G.I. Inganati, which was published anonymously in 1531. The other title of this play was What You Will. Ben Jonson also wrote a drama for the celebrations of Twelfth Night, which was titled The Mask of Blackness. Jonson's play was performed on 6th January 1605. The original title of Ben Jonson's play was The Twelfth Night's Revels. It was later changed to The Mask of Blackness. We will discuss Ben Jonson's biography and all his major plays, marks, and other important writings in near future. Characters. The characters of Shakespeare's Twelfth Night include a twin sister and brother Viola and Sebastian. Being twins, they appear exactly similar, and this gives rise to the plot of misplaced identity that Shakespeare already explored in his previous comedy, Comedy of Errors. Also, Twelfth Night includes the issue of cross-dressing that was explored by Shakespeare in many of his previous comedies, including The Two Gentlemen of Verona and As You Like It. We have discussed the summary of As You Like It, The Two Gentlemen of Verona, and Comedy of Errors in details in our previous videos. Viola and Sebastian are twins who were traveling together and suffered shipwreck. We are discussing the characters of Twelfth Night. While both survive the accident, they get separated, and Viola, believing that her brother is dead, decides to disguise herself as a guy named Cesario to earn a living as a page boy for Duke Orsino. Duke Orsino is the ruler of Illyria, the country on shores of which Viola was thrown by the sea tides. Olivia is a wealthy countess of Illyria, a very beautiful girl whom Duke Orsino wants to marry. However, Olivia is not interested in man, as she is still mourning the death of her brother and have vowed that she won't have any relationship with man for 7 years. Feste is a jester, a clown or fool, who was very close to Olivia's late father. While he continues to serve the house of Olivia, he also entertains Duke Orsino as a freelancer clown with his wit, and is now the jester of Duke Orsino. Maria is the gentlewoman of Olivia. She takes care of her while Olivia lives with her fun-loving uncle, Sir Toby Belch, who is a drunkard. Sir Andrew Aguecheek is Toby Belch's close friend, and he is also trying to woo Olivia, who takes no interest in men. So Olivia is a beautiful woman who takes no interest in men, while many men wants to marry her. Another important character of the play is Malvolio, who is the servant or steward of Olivia. Malvolio is a very eccentric and egoistic pompous character whom Shakespeare created to make fun of Puritans. Malvolio despises all manner of fun and entertainment and believes that all humans are sinful and they must try to be completely free of all sins. Despite his serious outlook, he often acts foolishly. Antonio is a sea captain who is a close friend of Sebastian, Viola's twin brother. Antonio had rebelled against Duke Orsino in past, and he is a fugitive, wanted man in Illyria. In 1930, British novelist W. Somerset Maugham published his novel Cake and Ale, subtitled The Skeleton in the Cupboard. Maugham mentioned that he chose the title Cake and Ale from the dialogue between Sir Toby Belch and Malvolio in Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. Toby Belch says to Malvolio, "Dost thou think, because thou art virtuous, there shall be no more cakes and ale?" Summary of Twelfth Night. The play begins with Duke Orsino of Illyria showing his displeasure at the decision of Olivia, whom he pursues. Olivia has forsworn man's company for 7 years, while she mourns for the death of her brother. While Duke Orsino is trying hard to woo her, she continues to rebuff him. On the other hand, some sailors of Illyria come back from the sea with a stranger girl, Viola, whom they rescued from the shipwreck she suffered. Viola mourns the loss of her twin brother Sebastian and decides to make a living in disguise as a boy and tries to be a page boy of Duke Orsino. Viola meets Duke Orsino as a boy named Cesario and offers him her services as a page boy. Duke Orsino accepts Cesario as his page boy and sends him to meet Olivia to court her for him. So Viola, who is Cesario, who is still sad because of her brother's loss, finds herself fallen in love with Duke Orsino at the first sight, and hence she visits to Olivia's house to help Duke Orsino. Cesario is actually a beautiful young girl disguised as a boy. When Olivia meets him, she is attracted towards him. Later on, Olivia sends her servant Malvolio to offer a ring to Cesario on her behalf. So Viola or Cesario is in love with Duke Orsino. Duke Orsino wants to marry Olivia, and Olivia finds herself in love with Cesario or Olivia. In the house of Olivia, Malvolio pesters every other member with his pompous attitude. Thus, the other members, Olivia's uncle Toby Belch and her gentlewoman Maria, decides to trick Malvolio to expose his self-centered aspirations and foolishness. Sir Toby Belch's friend Sir Andrew Aguecheek also helps them in planning the trick to befool Malvolio. Maria forges a letter in Olivia's writing to Malvolio in which she expresses love for Malvolio as Olivia and demands him to dress in yellow stockings cross-gartered and visit Olivia with a smile to accept her love. After reading the letter, Malvolio fails to understand the trick and actually believes that his mistress Olivia is in love with him. So he decides to dress up in that bizarre fashion, wearing cross-gartered yellow stockings, and comes in front of Olivia with a grin on his face. When Olivia sees him, she is horrified and disgusted at this bizarre appearance of Malvolio. She thinks Malvolio has lost his mind and he is a madman, and orders him to be imprisoned in a dark room. Sebastian, the lost brother of Viola, also succeeds in surviving against the shipwreck with the help of his friend Antonio. They also reach the shores of Illyria. Antonio tries to remain in hide to avoid being arrested and punished by Duke Orsino, against whom he rebelled in past. When Sir Aguecheek comes to know about the ring that Olivia sent to Cesario by the hands of Malvolio, he gets jealous of Cesario. As Sir Aguecheek is disturbed, he announces a duel against Cesario. Sir Toby Belch makes use of this opportunity for fun and declares that the duel will end only with the death of one of the opponent. Both Cesario and Sir Aguecheek then tries to avoid the fight. However, Sir Toby Belch forces them to engage in the duel. Meanwhile, Antonio sees Aguecheek and Cesario fighting. Cesario or Viola, being a girl and untrained in fight, is no match against Sir Aguecheek. Antonio feels that his friend Sebastian's life is in danger. He mistakes Cesario or Viola to be Sebastian. He jumps in between the duel to save Sebastian, who is actually Cesario or Viola. While he saves Cesario, the Duke's men see him and arrest him. After some time, Sir Aguecheek sees Sebastian and misplaces him to be Cesario or Viola. Now, Aguecheek knows that Cesario is no match to him, so he starts fighting against Sebastian again. However, Sebastian is a strong and well-trained fighter. He defeats Sir Aguecheek easily. However, Olivia intervenes at the right time and stops the duel without anyone killed. She then takes Sebastian to her home and proposes him to marry her. Olivia is a rich, beautiful lady. Sebastian agrees to marry her and they marry the same night. In the dark room, Malvolio is still imprisoned. Duke Orsino's clown Feste helps Maria and Toby Belch to torment Malvolio, and Feste makes him believe that he actually is mad. However, Feste, Maria and Toby Belch feels worried when they realize that they may get in trouble for treating Malvolio in such a manner. So they allow him to have a pen and paper to write a letter to Olivia. He writes a sorry letter to Olivia and asks for forgiveness and freedom. To celebrate their success against Malvolio, Maria and Toby Belch also decides to marry the same night along with Sebastian and Olivia. In Duke Orsino's court, Antonio is questioned against his acts of piracy against the Duke. When he sees Cesario or Viola in the court, he again misplaces him to be Sebastian and accuses him of betrayal. However, Sebastian reaches to the Duke's court right at that moment to ask for forgiveness for the fight against Sir Aguichic. When Sebastian and Cesario see each other, they realize that both the siblings are alive. Antonio is pardoned with a slight punishment. Duke Orsino comes to know that Cesario is actually a young, beautiful girl, Viola, and while knowing that Olivia has married to Sebastian, he starts feeling attracted towards Viola, who already loves him. Meanwhile, Clown Feste brings the letter of Malvolio to the court, and Malvolio is released from the dark room. On his release, Toby Belch and Maria confesses that they forged the letter that made him fool to believe that Olivia was in love with him. Malvolio pledges revenge and disappears. At the end, Duke Orsino accepts his love for Viola and announces that he will marry Viola the next time he sees her in a girl's dress. And thus the drama ends in lovers' meeting. So this was all about 12th night. The point to be remembered is that Feste was the servant of the house of Olivia and was the favorite clown of her late father, and then he became the jester of Duke Orsino. We will continue to discuss other literary gems from the Elizabethan era. Please stay connected with the discourse. Thanks and regards.